Hello everyone, how are you? How was your day? And today I am giving you the much promised video from yesterday of my book review. So I just want to get straight into it. I don't have any news for you guys other than I think looking at my calendar, if I had a calendar on me, which I do not, I believe that the next weekend that I'm able to post, I'm not going to be able to post. We have our big spring play, and I am on stage crew, so I will not be able to give you a video. I may be able to give you guys a video next weekend or the weekend after, or just not at all, or just one video like last month, which I'm kind of not happy about because I really wanted to make a video, but I just didn't have time. So I'm definitely going to try and make time because I definitely do want to get out that video for you guys. So the book that I used, I actually found at a bookstore a couple hours away from a town that I really like. I don't remember the name. It is in Atchison, Kansas though, so it is definitely a great store if you live near Atchison, Kansas, or not Atchison, Abilene. It's Abilene, Kansas. Sorry guys, total wrong side of Kansas. If you guys live anywhere near Abilene, you guys will know how just wonderful of a town it is, especially if you have an old soul like me. There are antique stores and bookstores and coffee shops, and it's so cute. And I absolutely love it. I went there this year for my birthday. Got myself some birthday gifts that I really liked, including this book. It's called the Book Club Journal. Technically, it's for book clubs, but I kind of changed things around a little bit. It's like here, it's books we want to read. Keyword we. I put The Fault in Our Stars. I definitely had other books, but that is, I read the movie. I watched the movie first, which made me cry. And if you guys have not read the book or watched the movie, definitely suggest doing that. This is honestly like a really cute book. I'm sure you can find it on Amazon or anywhere. But it's just like a super cute book. It has a whole bunch of quotes. It says, "Why can't people just sit and read books and be nice to each other?" And that is so backwards. It looks like so much gibberish. I just read that completely backwards. So someone give me a gold star. Definitely deserve it. So like you saw, here's books we want to read. And then it's another quote. They have, I think, what's happening is they have quotes like every other page. Or every once in a while. I don't know. So this is, I'll show you guys an empty page. This is what the books look like after, this is what the pages look like after you guys have finished. Can you guys see that? Because I definitely can't see what's happening. So up here, this is where you put the date of, I think, when you finish the book. And it's the title and the author and location and the characters and what y'all ate when y'all were there and what y'all drank when you were there. And then thoughts, questions, and ideas for the discussion. I kind of changed things up, obviously, because I'm not in a book club. I'd really love to be, but I'm not. So instead of who was there, it's who was there, meaning who was at the book club. But instead I put all the characters, and for location, instead of where I read the book, it's all of the settings, all of the main settings in the book. And I put some of, like, the food that I could remember from the book and what we ate and what we drank, like the main things that, or like stuff that stood out to me, beverages that stood out to me. There's only one. There was 3 foods, really, that stood out to me. And on thoughts, questions, and ideas for discussion, I put basically a whole summary of the book. It is called We Are Okay. If you have read this book, you will know it is such an emotional book. I highly suggest someone read it. It's more like a teeny book, like anywhere from maybe 14 to maybe 16, 17, 18, anywhere around there. It's definitely like a teenage girl book, and it has such a wonderful message to it. I'm going to read you guys the summary, and then I will kind of talk about the book afterwards. So it is called, I finished reading the book on January 12th, 2020. I read this book in about maybe 2 weeks. It was really, really good. I could not get my nose out of this book. It is called We Are Okay by Nina Lacour, I think is her last name. I'm not quite sure. She sounds Hispanic, not French, so I definitely probably pronounced that wrong, which is okay. And for for the locations, I have Gramps' house, her grandfather, the main character's grandfather's house, and he is such a good guy. If you've read this book, you will know what kind of person he is. It is just... And the beach, she definitely, when they go back, okay, so every other chapter is present, and then it's past, and it's so... In the past, they spend a lot of time, her and one of her best friends spend a lot of time at the beach, which definitely stood out to me as like a place where you would go in this book. And the last one is her dorm room, the main character's dorm room. Like I said, if you've read it, you will know how significant her dorm room is to her. Like, she had a really rough past, and I'll probably read about it in the summary. I haven't honestly looked back on this in a while. But her dorm room is very significant to her. She had a very horrible past, and she loves to coop herself up in her dorm room. Do not suggest doing that in real life. The main characters, or the characters that were there repeatedly, was Anna and Javier. They are married. Marion, which is the main character. Hannah, which is Marion's dorm room person. Roomie. And Gramps and Mabel. And Mabel is her best friend in the whole world. And they're really good. And the main things that stood out to me about the food that they ate was chili, because they made chili one of the nights that Mabel was over visiting Hannah. And Gramps, sweets. Gramps made so many sweets. He made sweets almost every single time the girls came. Actually, Mabel came to visit. She lived with her Gramps. And ramen. If you're a college kid, or if you're not, because memes, let me tell you. Ramen is a very common college food. She ate ramen a lot in the book, which is fine. And the one beverage that stood out to me was whiskey. Whiskey had its place. I wouldn't say it was a big place. I'd just say it had its place in the book, and it came back later as kind of like a sad thing. So now I'm going to read you guys the summary of the book. It says, Marion had a rough past, and I wrote this, so if there's any grammar issues, please tell me, because English is hard. Her mother died when she was too young. Everyone remembers her mother but her. She has lived with her Gramps and her whole life. Then something tragic happens. And a quote, my favorite quote from the book is, "You go through life thinking there's so much you need, until you leave with only your phone, your wallet, and a picture of your mother." End quote. And it was, if you've read the book, I say this a lot, you will know how powerful that quote is in the book. It's on the back of the book, and for the summary of the book, and it is in the book. And it kind of hits harder when it's in the book and not just on the back of the book, which is fine. And then I continued to write. Going into college, she has so much, yet nothing. Her roommate Hannah practically saves her, with facts about bees, meditation, and evolution. 3 months go by. And now it's December, and Marion is all alone in her dorm. No one will be back until late January. Marion only has to spend 3 days with her old friend Mabel. Then she has the whole campus to herself. 2 days into Mabel's visit, Marion finds herself not wanting to leave. Eventually, Marion has to face the past and tell the truth. So that is pretty much what was on the back of the book, and that is pretty much what I wrote. The back of the book, once you read, first, of course, you would always read the back of the book, at least I do. I know a lot of people who read the last page of the book, and they're like, oh, it's a good book, I'm going to buy it. I do not do that. That is kind of a bad idea. My mom does that. I really don't like that. But, gotta do what you gotta do. Honestly, most of that was on the back of the book. And when you read the book, you're like, oh yeah, all of this makes sense. And then, like, as you go through the book, as I go through the book, I reread the back of the book, and I'm like, oh yeah, well, this is falling into place. Oh, well, and well, what does this mean? And I do that to almost every single book I read. Right now, I am reading Girl in Pieces. Highly suggest, I dropped in water. Highly suggest reading this one, especially if you have had a rough past. You will definitely relate to that girl. But, Marion, the girl in this book that I'm reading, actually, it's in the living room, and I wish I could go grab it for you guys, but I'm not going to, because that will leave you with like 1 or 2 minutes of silence, and my dog, who's sleeping. So basically, it's a really, really powerful book. It just makes like so much sense, and you go through kind of getting lost every once in a while. That's something that I would definitely tell the author to fix, was every once in a while you'll get lost and you'll be like, well, wait a minute, where am I at? Because a couple of books that I have read that switch on and off from past to present, and another book like that is Behind Closed Doors. I highly, highly suggest you read that book. It is currently my favorite book. Not my all-time favorite, but my current favorite. It is, I'll have to do a book review on that when I get it back. And then other books that I've read, it's under like the chapter name or the like chapter number, it'll say past or it'll say present. And it did not say that in this book, and it was a little bit confusing because you have to go back and read like the previous chapter to see where you were at. I was not a huge fan of that. The author was so good at putting words together. There are some authors who can put words together, but they don't like mean as much. You're like, oh yeah, well that makes sense. This author is able to put words together so powerfully that it makes you want to cry because you relate to this character, the main character Marion, so much. And it just, honestly, it's like, yeah, well, I feel you, even if I've never been through anything even remotely close to this. And basically, that is just like my favorite part of this entire book, is how you can look at this character and be like, I understand, even if you haven't been through anything that she's been through. This book, it's just, I cannot give it enough praise, honestly. It is, again, We Are Okay. I will have to post a picture of it sometime or briefly show you guys. I was going to shout somebody out today. I keep on forgetting. I promise I will shout this chick out, because she's honestly, like, she's so amazing. I love her so much. I completely forgot what my next video is going to be, but it's probably going to be something small, I think. My desk is an absolute disaster. Ooh, here's my calendar that I said I didn't have. This is really cute. So it says amazing things are going to happen. It's 2019-2020 journal, and it's been really helpful. So I'm going to flip to February real quick and tell you. Actually, I'm going to flip to March and tell you what is happening. So my surprise video that I have been talking about nonstop. I promise you guys, it will come out. It's going to be kind of like a series, but kind of not. It'll happen once a month. I'm really excited for it to start, so that should happen next month. That's right. I don't know if I'm going to do this one because I don't have time to research a lot. One of my upcoming videos is going to be something on the Biltmore Mansion. If you guys haven't been there, it's a place in, I want to say West Virginia. If I'm wrong, please correct me. It is like 100.5 rooms, and it's main bedrooms, and it's got so many rooms, and it's so old, and it is just gorgeous. You could spend all day there and not see everything. We spent about maybe a good 8 hours there walking around. It was so hot in there. Wow. And B, there are such intricate details. I am like a detail person. I love looking at like little things and being like, well, yeah, I love observing, and I always have my attention like directed towards little things. And if you're like me, which good on you. You spend so much time. I love looking at little things most of the time. It's so great. And there are some things that I don't appreciate paying attention to. So, Biltmore Mansion is so huge. The gardens are so big. It sits on, like, I don't know, 50 acres of land. I think it's 100. I'm not sure. You should look it up. I will be telling you all about it, which is super, super exciting. I almost said super 3 times. It is, hang on. It is in, I do have shorts on because don't care. It is in this book. This is the main setting of this book. And there's a first book. No, yeah, this is the second book. The first book is Seraphina and the Black Cloak. This is definitely like a tween-ish book. It's like a 10 to 14-year-old book. It was so good, at least when I read it. There's like 3 or 4 books to the series. It is the main... This is definitely not what it looks like. I was ready for it to look something like this, and that is not all what it looks like. It looks so gorgeous. There are gargoyles everywhere. Such intricate detail. It is so huge. I thought when I first read the Seraphina books that it was a made-up place, when actually it's not. It's really gorgeous. If you ever get a chance to go see it, go see it. If you've already seen it, go again, because you probably haven't seen everything. Take a closer look unless you go there like all the time and you've seen everything, which good on you. I'm jealous. I want my dog. So I'm going to be doing some research on that, giving my opinions. Honestly, I can't really say anything that I could fix in there because it's really good. I definitely will be giving a lot of praise to this place, getting all of my information straight. I am hoping that whenever I can be doing a lot of research on this. The surprise video for you guys, the research that I'm taking it from is a podcast. So sitting down and being able to listen to the podcast, definitely, don't eat my book, is definitely time consuming, and I honestly have had a lot of time to do it, but I always forget about it. So I'm hoping that I can be able to sit down anytime humanly possible and research this place. It has such an interesting past to it. If you guys know about Biltmore Mansion, cool. You guys can watch, and I don't know, I will be probably throwing in the books a couple times. I have not read this book yet. It has been sitting up on my shelf since I was like 13 and I'm 15. It's been sitting up there for definitely a couple years. I definitely need to get to reading it. Okay, so that is, I believe, the whole video. I am going to do my best to shout these people out as much as humanly possible. Like, it's been so difficult. Highly suggest getting y'all one of these. Okay, hang on. I have to look to tell you guys something very quickly. So, yes, the next weekend that I'm supposed to be posting a video is the second night of our show. If you guys live near Newton, Kansas, highly suggest coming. I will be putting all the information down below. Newton, Kansas. It's in Newton, Kansas. It's at Newton High School in the auditorium. It is so good. Our actors are so blessed and talented. And with that, Hondo says bye-bye. Come say bye. Come say bye. Say bye. Say bye. Okay, you can go back to laying down. I hope to see you guys in the next video, or rewatching this one, or liking it, or whatever, however you guys come up. And I'm hoping to see you guys, if you guys subscribe. I always go check out y'all's channels. Definitely interesting. I've checked out everybody's channel that has subscribed to me and commented. Literally, like, one person has commented, so bless her soul. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, subscribe, do whatever y'all gotta do. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, or had a good day, or get out of bed or go to sleep or whatever's happening with y'all. My lava lamp is having issues. Up to you guys. ASAP. Goodbye.